Yes, today I would like to discuss the chapter 6 Staffing in Business Studies subject. So, here, as we have been discussed previous two functions of the management, that is planning and organization. So planning is something where we decide it in advance what your company need to achieve and how it is going to achieve it, and with which kind of formulas, in which kind of methodology it is going to achieve. Everything we have been clearly discussed in planning chapter. Organizing is nothing but where they have a proper segregation of different departments and divisions, and along with that we go for giving proper responsibility, accountability, and who's going to work under whom, and how you're going to take care of the entire materials, equipments, and how you're going to do the work along with the instruction given by the top level management. Everything has been clearly discussed in case of organization, that is providing essential materials to achieve the targets of the organization. So now we have come to the most important and a very crucial function of management. You name it as staffing. So here, before getting into the formal meaning, let me give you an introduction. So you take any organization in this business world, you cannot see any of the organization becoming successful, or else you cannot see any organization achieving bigger targets without proper human resource. So human assets are irreplaceable assets, like other assets. We can go for getting costliest equipments and costliest tools, machineries, everything money can buy. But definitely, I tell you, if you get an appropriate workforce, if you go for getting talented employees, very talented employees to your business organization, actually it create wonders in the business. So human assets are the most important assets, where you need to choose them in a right way with lot of precautionary measures. So at once when you go for planning, at once you have get into the organizing process, the next one is you should be ready for staffing process. So staffing process is something where, let me put it up in a very simple sentence, choosing the right candidate to do the right job. Let it be any sort of job. You know very well, in big companies you have different divisions and different departments. You need to appoint so many employees in each and every divisions and departments. You need a manager, you need an assistant manager, you require supervisors. As you have three levels of management, top, middle, and lower level of management, you require so many candidates to be recruited in different levels of management. And here you see that each and every employees are appointed in a right way, with giving lot of importance to each and every designation. So here it is very clearly said that staffing is the process of recruiting right people for the right job. Okay. So choosing a right person for the right job becomes a very big responsibility of the management. If you go for choosing a wrong person to do a particular job, definitely whatever the function which was prior to this staffing process, everything goes waste. You cannot go for achieving anything. Every effort will go waste when you go for choosing one wrong person. So when you're choosing a right person for the right job, you see that whether the candidate is really hardworking, is going to be honest enough or dedicated enough to do one particular job. So there is a variety of tests to be conducted, and he has to undergo all these tests, and finally he will be selected in the organization, in that recruitment process actually. So here varieties of tests are given to each and every candidate to check their mental ability, physical ability, and as well as is intellectual ability. So with lot of methodology, they go for selecting the candidates, those who are really able and capable to work within the business organization. Suppose if you're choosing a person who's lazy and who's really not dedicated, and the person who's not so honest towards the work, definitely it is a loss for the business organization. So if you take one department, for example, sales department, suppose if manager himself is not dedicated and honest, definitely the assistants, the subordinates, those who are working under that particular manager, even those people, they will be influenced in a very bad way and in a very negative way, and even they cannot give the complete effort, to the business organization. So they have to take this staffing process, the management, they have to take this staffing process very importantly, and they have to go for performing this kind of staffing process in a very effective manner. Only then we can go for choosing the right person for the right job. So here it is a process of recruiting right people for the right job. Staffing is that part of management. The next concept comes here. Staffing is that part of management. It is one of the part of management actually, staffing, which is concerned with obtaining, utilizing, and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. A very correct concept is being given over here. That is, it is a part of management, human resource management. It is a part of management where it is very important. Even though you have very luxurious and very costly equipments, tools and machinery and everything, all sort of infrastructure if you have in a right way, but still if you don't have a right workforce, you're not going to achieve anything in the organization. So it is a part of management. It is concerned with obtaining, utilizing. It means that first you go for finding out the right candidate. Okay, like you go for searching for the right candidate, and you find out the right candidate, you recognize the right candidate and utilize them, make use of them. So when you start finding out, when you start recognizing the right candidates with lot of talents, those who are really specialized and expertised to do one particular job in the business organization, you go for acquiring them. This is what we call it as obtaining. And utilize them. Utilizing is something where you go for making use of them in particular division or else in particular department, where you will get tremendous result out of their work. So utilizing and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. It means that you first acquire, you go for finding out the right candidate to do the right job, and then you go for utilizing them in a right way. That is, which kind of post is really suitable for that right person. You go for giving that particular department, particular post, and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. It means at once when you go for giving him the particular post, you see that that person is really satisfied with the job, as he is completing the tasks and project very effectively and successfully. Immediately you go for analyzing, you go for evaluating the performance of that particular employee. You go for giving monetary rewards and non-monetary rewards, like you go for appreciating in front of every employee. That is one of the non-monetary rewards. And you go for giving promotion along with good salary and responsibility, and you really give much importance by taking care of their health, and as well as giving free medical facilities and providing educational facilities to their children, to their family members. All these things are nothing but giving them extraordinary care, giving them extraordinary importance to each and every employee, those who are working for your business organization. So maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce, that is mutual satisfaction, that is, as an employer, if I am giving the work to the employee, even I should get that satisfaction by seeing the performance of that particular employee. And when an employee is working so much, and when he is really giving a good result to the business organization, at once when I go for giving monetary and non-monetary rewards to him, he gets satisfied. So here, let me put it up in a simple way. Staffing, it's a part of management where you go for finding out valuable and very talented candidates. I go for utilizing them in a right way, and I go for maintaining them satisfactorily. That is, I take care of them. And then I see that they never quit my company and skip on to some other company. I go for giving them more importance. I give them multiple benefits. I provide them multiple benefits, and I see that they are satisfied. So this gives complete satisfaction to me and as well as to the employees. So this is about the meaning of staffing. Hope so you are clear with the meaning of staffing. And now let me start with staffing process. Okay. So staffing process, it is consisting of few steps here. Okay. So here there are certain series of steps where we need to follow. According to the steps only, we have to go for maintaining this staffing process. Okay. So first thing in the organization, what do is estimating the manpower requirement. Estimating the manpower requirement. That is nothing but how many people need to be hired in the organization with the help of organizational structure. So here we can say work structure analysis, workforce analysis. So it means that first one, in the staffing process, estimating the manpower requirement. It is nothing but you go for finding out how many people need to be hired in the organization. That is, how many people are in need to work within the business organization at present. Okay, so how you go for estimating this manpower requirement? You can do this with the help of organizational structure. If you go for doing with the help of organizational structure, very easily you can find out how many departments are there, how many divisions are there in that particular department, which post is vacant, and how many candidates overall you really require to work in your organization. Everything will be analyzed in a proper manner. And here it can be analyzed through work structure analysis, workforce analysis. So work structure analysis is something where I can say functional structure, divisional structure according to that chart, which we have discussed a lot in organization chapter. There we have seen how you will go for appointing one manager, and under him how many will be designated, what kind of responsibility, authority, all such things are there, right? So here workforce analysis is something where finding out present number of employees in the organization. That is, at present how many of them are working and how many are really required in future to work for the organization, and to see the results, what has been planned previously, that is prior to this function, what kind of objectives they have been formulated to achieve those objectives and to achieve those targets, how many workforces are essential. So first thing is that you go for charting out, you go for estimating the manpower requirement, that is how many candidates are really in need to be hired in the organization through workforce analysis and work structure analysis. And the next thing to be considered here, the next step which comes under the process of staffing, recruitment. Recruitment is something where we can say it is a process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. So here what you do is, At once, when you come to know in the first step, that is estimation of manpower requirement, now you will come to know how many members you really require, how many employees you really need, and at present, through proper workforce analysis and work structure analysis. Now, at once, when you figure out how many employees you are really in need for your organization, you start recruiting, you start searching for right candidates. So there are so many ways to search the candidates here. As we are going to discuss this concept very detailedly in future class. So just a glance I'll go for doing it. Recruitment is something where it is a process of searching for prospective employees. It means where you go for searching, where you go for seeking right person who's really eligible to do one particular job. For example, in marketing division, there is a vacancy. So you want an MBA candidate, those who have performed with marketing specialization, Master of Business Administration, along with marketing specialization. And you want a candidate who is already possessing 5 years experience in manager post. So according to all these requirements, you go for searching a candidate who is possessing all these qualities. So according to your job, according to your designation, and according to the vacant post which has been available in your organization, you go for searching for the candidate, you go for seeking the candidate who's really suitable to do that particular job, and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. It means that you go for giving certain advertisement in an attractive manner to the candidates and see that they really get influenced, motivated through that advertisement, and you really see that they come and apply for that particular job where you have given those, for which purpose you have given those advertisements. So here there are different sorts of recruitment. One is internal source of recruitment and one more is external source of recruitment. Source of recruitment is nothing but from where you will find these people, from where you will get this valuable employees. So here different types of sources of recruitment are there. One is internal source of recruitment and one more is external source. Internal source of recruitment is nothing but you can get the employees within your company itself. So suppose one post is vacant, you can bring an employee who's already working in production department to the sales department. You call that as transfer. Or else you can make in one more way. You can go for giving promotion to one employee and you can just give that manager post to him. All these things are nothing but internal source of recruitment, where you will get the people, where you will get the employees within your organization itself. External source of recruitment is nothing but where you have to go in search of employees outside. You can go for getting talented employees from outside. So here you just see that through advertisement, through campus recruitment, through consultancy agencies, employment exchange, with all these methods, with all these forms, you can go for recruiting the candidates from the external source of recruitment. So here, first you go for estimating the manpower requirement. You just find out with the help of workforce analysis and work structure analysis. And then what you do is recruitment. That is process of searching prospective employees. That is those who are really suitable. And then what do? You stimulate them, you encourage them, you influence them to apply for jobs in the organization. And now third step here, it's nothing but selection. We are going to see this very detailedly in the future classes, selection process, selection steps there. Here, let me go for giving you the meaning of selection step. It is the process of choosing from among the pool of the prospective job candidates developed at the stage of recruitment, ensures that the organization gets the best among the available. It enhances the prestige and self-esteem. So here, at once when you go for recruiting the candidates, when you go for seeking and finding out the candidates from internal source and external source, what is the next step here? They come and apply for the job. Okay. At once when they come and apply for the job, you go for conducting various tests to choose the right person for the right job. So here, as you know that at once when you go for giving certain advertisement in magazine or newspapers or else in television or else in web publishing, in websites, when you go for giving the advertisements about the vacancy of job in your company, definitely you will be getting so many numbers of applications. So what you do is that at once when you go for getting all these applications, first you need to go for making a selection process by conducting various tests here. So various tests and varieties of interviews are available to check the intellectual ability, to check the mental ability and physical ability of a concerned employee. At once when they go for checking and at once when they go for conducting variety of tests and interviews here, you go for choosing best among the available. You go for scrutinizing them, you go for analyzing them in different ways, and finally you go for choosing the right person for the right job to enhance the prestige and self-esteem. It means that after conducting varieties of tests and varieties of interviews, at once when a person is recruited, at once when person is chosen, selected for one particular job, he really feels so good, self-esteemed. It is a prestigious thing, a very honorable thing for a person who has been come into the organization to attend an interview and he's been selected in a very reputed and prestigious institution. So it enhances, actually it creates a good prestige and self-esteem both for the employer and as well as for the employees. And next comes here fourth point to be discussed, placement and orientation. At once when recruitment is done, selection is being done, here what you do is that you go for placement and orientation. So first let me go for discussing about placement. Placement refers to the employee occupying the position or post for which the person has been selected. At once when you are selected in the organization after passing each and every test and interview, you are placed in that particular post or position by the management where you have been designated or selected. At once when you are selected, at once when you are clearing all the tests and all the interviews here, immediately you are placed in that particular post or position for which you had been conducted varieties of tests and interviews. Then what do you mean by orientation and staffing process? It is nothing but introducing the selected employees to other employees. That is, making that particular employee to feel free when he gets into the organization. As he comes into the organization, everything is new to him. Atmosphere is very new to him. The rules and regulations are very new to him. So, to familiarize these rules and policies of the organization and to maintain a very cordial relationship with the colleagues and to feel free to talk with them and to communicate, to conversate with them regarding the work culture, everything is being done through proper orientation program. So it is something where it is introducing the newly appointed employees towards the company and as well as towards the employees, those who are already working in the organization. So estimating the manpower requirement, recruitment has to be done and selection has to be maintained. And after the selection of the candidates, you give them the placements and orientation program is being conducted. And now the next thing to be discussed here, staffing process. In staffing process, fifth point, that is nothing but training and development. Even though the person has been completed, even though the candidate, he has been completed his post graduation with good percentage from big university, and when he gets into the organization after clearing varieties of tests and interviews, but still he is new to the organization, the work method which is being provided within the organization, it has to be taught to him. So here training is nothing but it is an act of increasing the knowledge and technical skill. It is not that you're going to teach to the person who is having a zero knowledge. It is not like that. The person who's already possessing certain knowledge which is completely related to that particular job, you are going to enhance that knowledge. You are going to increase that knowledge and the technical skills. So here most of the candidates, they never come to do a particular job. They never come only to do a particular job, but they actually dream about their career. They wanted to achieve bigger things and bigger targets. So here what do is, they take up a very good training. Even if you go for taking many big companies, many big multinational companies also, first when the candidates they get selected, they go for giving proper training process for 1-2 months and 3 months along with salary. So here they go for taking the training and they go for taking even the salary, and through the training process they really increase their knowledge, their potentiality towards their technical skills. And here they go for performing each and every work very effectively and efficiently only by acquiring proper training skills here. After learning this training skills, they just go for applying this knowledge in the practical work. They go for learning through the training program and they go for applying this knowledge in the daily work. And here what do is that they go for performing the work more effectively and efficiently, where there is no error at all, where they never go for seeking any help from their supervisors. This actually gives a very good impact and very positive results within the organization when the employees are really good enough and skilled enough to do the particular jobs without any errors. And when you are good enough to perform the activities in a very right way without committing any mistakes, definitely you get developed in the organization. You get a lot of promotions, you take a lot of learning opportunities, and you really grow in the business organization. You start helping the other employees, okay, and you just get prepared to become the future manager in the organization. So here, after taking proper training skills, after taking proper training programs, you go for applying that in a daily routine work. And here when you start working without any errors and without seeking any help from the supervisors, you give the greater performance, and that greater performance leads to development. That development, it gives an absolute opportunity, growth and opportunity for each and every employee, those who are utilizing this training programs. So development is assured when you go for taking training programs in a right way and when you go for applying all these skills in an appropriate manner. And now the next thing to be discussed here in staffing process, performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is something where at once when you go for performing the activities in the organization, you really see that it is being evaluated. As a manager, you need to follow up each and every performance or else any work which is being done by the employee. So you need to make a proper analysis, evaluate it, whether the performance is really according to the predetermined standard or not. So here once an employee, when he undergoes for a proper training process, his performance is evaluated, whether he is really good enough, Like how is performance before training and after training? Any improvement is there or not? What kind of effective performance is given? That will be evaluated in a right measurable standard. And this has to be done by the manager without fail. Only then he will come to know how many employees are really good enough in performing the tasks and how many employees are really not good enough in performing the task even after training program. So performance appraisal is very, very useful for each and every organization because it actually differentiates the extraordinary talented employees and the employees those who are really lazy, those were not working, those were not honest and dedicated towards the work. So this is one of the criteria where they go for using, analyzing with proper standard measurable things, and they go and they come to know like how they are promoted, how they are giving the performance and how they are developing in that particular job profile. So all these things you can go for finding out in performance appraisal methods. And the next thing to be considered here, promotion and career planning. Okay, after giving proper analysis in the performance, you go for evaluating and you go for giving grades and ranks here. Who's really best enough and who's really good enough in the organization. So here what you do is that you go for planning, you go for making career planning and promotional planning. It means that after the evaluation you give them proper promotion along with along with the good salary and as well as along with the good responsibility. So it is something where you boost the morale of employees and motivate them. When the work of the employee is recognized, definitely they really get benefited. Okay, so when their work is really recognized and it is being given with monetary rewards, definitely it encourages them, it boosts them to perform the activities in a right manner. And the next one is here, last one, that is compensation. Compensation is something where here no one is doing any work for the free of cost. Everyone are doing to live their livelihood. So they need to be paid. Employees need to be paid in a right way. So extracting lot of work, and if they go for providing less salary, it is really not good. It is not fair on the part of the management. And even when the employee gets lot of salary and when he is not working in a right way, that is also not fair in the part of employees. So here it refers to all forms of pay and rewards to employees, direct financial payment and indirect payment. So here direct financial payment is nothing but giving them extraordinary bonus, hike, increment in the financial thing. Non-financial, indirect financial payment is nothing but here like giving them good recognition in front of everyone. You go for praising them, you go for appreciating them in front of everyone. That it is really a very big motivation for each and every person, those who are working in the organization. So all these points are coming under staffing process. So we'll get connected with next session.